In this section, we will learn about the Scrapy items and item loaders, which can be used to structurize our scraped data. And to do that, let's just create a simple scraper to scrape all of the products in the travel page. Of course, the layout will be the same, that is the same title, the same price, but it will be a fun exercise to implement it from scratch again and also implement the CSS selectors we learned in the previous section. So let's create our parse method. So we'll select the ebooks. Of course, we'll select the articles. That is, if I just inspect these elements, you can see we have all of the product information inside of the article with the class of product pod. So let's select that. That is our response, CSS, and then we'll just select the article tag name and then the class product underscore pod like this. Of course, it is not necessary, but it is a good practice to be more specific. And now we can just run a for loop on all of the ebooks. That is for a ebook. Inside of the ebooks, we can just go ahead and print. We'll extract the data, that is the title, and the title is the h3a right here. That is inside of h3. We have our a tag, and we'll use the title attribute to get the value because some of the titles text have the data omitted. So we'll use the title which has the total value with no omissions. So let's use that instead. We'll select the ebook CSS and the h3a. And even if we use the A here, it will not be a problem because we are using the ebook to select the things. That is only the elements inside of the ebook, that is the article class, that is right here. That is inside of our article, you can see we only have one A tag, that is this one. So even if you use simple A here, it will not be a problem. And then we want to select the attribute, that is the title like this, and then we can do the get call. But one thing to note here is that we can use the attrib dictionary instead of the get method. Why? Because you can see this is the code using the attire function inside of the CSS selector. Now I'll do the same using our attrib dictionary. That is, I'll just select our element, that is this a tag, and then we can just use the attrib dictionary and then extract out the title like this. You can see it saves us a lot of code, and we don't need to use the get function as well because the attribute just gives us the value. So there is no need to use the get call. So this is a way to save keystrokes, much efficient. And then let's extract the price as well. And if I remember it correctly, it was a paragraph with price color, but it's good to double check it. And you can see we have a product price which has the price color and that has our data. So let's go ahead and extract that out. That is a P with the class of price underscore color like this. Now we want its text and let's extract that out. And that's it. Now to extract our data, that is if we use the yield keyword, we can structurize it into a dictionary, that is curly braces, create the key for each value, that is the title will be equals to the title, and then the price will be equals to the price, which we did before. And I can now go ahead and run our spider and then output the data into a different file. But you can see that here we are just using a plain dictionary, which is fine for now. But if we were to create a more bigger scraper, that is, let's say we have a lot of details of the products like the product reviews, the product price, the product category, etc. things, then it will be a bit of a hassle or a bit of a pain to actually manage all of that data inside of a dictionary. So instead what we can do is create classes to manage them, and Scrapy provides us them built in. That is inside of our Scrapy project right here, this one, not the upper one. Inside of the ebook scraper, you will find a items.py here. That is the items module. Inside of this, you will find a class called ebook scraper item. Now, if you have used a different name for your scraper project, then that will be used here. The simple thing is that Python is object oriented. That is, everything is a object. That is, our spider is an object, that is a class. the response is an object, and even the data is an object. So it's good to structurize our extracted data into an object as well. So what we can do is define a class for our products or the extracted data here. And to do that, first of all, let's just remove the comments which were added by Scrapy. And to create a product, what we need to do is just inherit that from our item class like this. So I can just import this firsthand. So from Scrapy, let's import the item class. And we also need a field class to create fields inside of our item. That is, I'll rename our item class to something like, let's say, ebook item, short and concise. And then inside of our ebook item, we should have two fields. That is, we will store the title and the price. Now what we can do is just create our title like this and then make it a field with the field class which is imported from Scrapy. Now this title is a field, and similarly we can add another field that would be the price of our ebook. It is a field that is like this. Now we have created our item, that is ebook item, in which we have two things, that is the title and the price. Now we can just go ahead and use that inside of our ebook. So this is how we create our items with Scrapy and structurize our data into different classes. And in the next lesson, let's go ahead and use this inside of our spider.